This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining this demo session. Good morning and good evening. Um, so today session is more about providing the overview on what we are going to learn in the crash course that is planned for next week. Right. This crash course of 5 hours, 2.5 hours on Saturday and 2.5 hours on Sunday is planned for next week. And today's demo session, I will try to provide the complete overview on all the topics, what we are going to see, what we are going to learn next week. Okay. So the crash course is designed very specifically for something called monitoring uh, for the end user experience, right? So let me explain how this is important, why it is required in the today's market, today's your today's market and today's expectation from the projects, right? So I'll try to provide you details on why this is something important and what are we going to learn. Okay. So I believe the audience for today, right, would be falling under two categories, right? One, you might be a performance tester, uh, and probably some of you might be doing functionality testing or manual or automation testing, right? So if you are a performance tester, you might be involved in some of the non-functional requirements, scripting, your load testing, analysis, and reporting, right? And then if you are a functional testing, obviously you might be involved in manual testing or automation testing, or you might be test leads, right? So from here, from where you're here, whatever you're doing today, right? Being a performance tester with 3-4 years of experience, or functional testing with 3-4 years of experience, in today's market, today's expectation from the projects, right? Where the your projects are delivered in agile, in the pod like team structure, right? So when you wanted to probably upskill you, right, to next level of what is expected in the market, from being a basic performance tester, from the functional tester, what is next you wanted to probably learn easily, also quickly, so that you would be able to probably make your next steps towards what is expected in the market. Okay. Obviously, it is going to take a little bit of a journey towards that, but there are a lot of things that you can do from here, right? Being a basic performance tester or a functional tester, to become a I have mentioned about two things: is that or a full scale tester, full or your site reliability engineering, right? These are the two words that are spoken in the market, and you might be seeing that in the job description everywhere. Okay. Though the actual meaning of site reliability engineering and your SDET or your full-fledged testing, right? End to end, covering all the functional automation, performance, usability. So people are expecting a single person to do everything. Okay. So if you want to be a SRE, or if you wanted to be a full scale testing expert, right, that is going to take a longer journey. But um, what are the easy things to learn? What are the important things to learn, right? There could be a lot of things that are important, but few things are going to take time. Say for example, if you wanted to become a performance engineer, If you look into this, being an SDET or your full scale testing or your site reliability engineering, all these things, it is going to involve a lot of things you might know and get expertise. Right? But a few things are going to take a lot of time, lot of skills. Like if you wanted to be an engineer or a resilience engineer or a performance engineer who can do root cause analysis or become a DevOps expert. All these things are going to have a more learning curve, right? You might need 3 months or 6 months to put your time and then learn these things. But there are also few things which are very easy to learn. Okay, so there are few things which are easy to learn, and then easy to qualify yourself, and then where from a basic performance tester or being a basic functional tester, you will be able to call yourself as a at least a basic site reliability engineer or a basic SDET or a basic full scale tester, right? So these are the one which I've highlighted in the green, or the one which are very um, easy to learn and then easy to pick it up into your list of skill sets. The one in orange is something which would require a maybe little more of a learning curve, and the one which is highlighted in a red would require a lot of skill set, would require a complete learning, which is going to take a lot of your time and involvement, your performance engineering and RCA, your resiliency engineering, those things. So what in the crash course we are going to see is um, how easy it is for you to learn these, the green ones: end user experience, synthetic monitoring, concepts of real user monitoring, server and app monitoring. All these things fall under something called your experience management or your end user experience management, right? For an end user, how are we going to make sure your performance is very good, to make them happy with respect to their using the site, using the having the experience of using the site, right? Typically we do load testing, endurance testing, stress testing, all these things we do, right? But we ensure only your backend is tested, your servers are tested properly with respect to capacity and load. But for an end user like you and me, right, or you and me accessing amazon.com or flipkart.com, we never understand whether the server is slow or database is slow or your middleware is slow, right? For us, the UI has to be fast. When we do search, when we do checkout, when we go and do some transaction, make some payments, the web page has to be fast. Or the mobile app which we use it in Android or iOS phone, right? Our apps should be fast. When we launch it, when we navigate from one screen to another screen, it should be fast, right? My app should not get crashed. My app should not get stuck. It should not eat my battery, right? So these are the end user experience is important for you and me. I'm not. We will not worry about whether the server is fast, server is scaling or not, whether the database is performing or not. For an end user experience, what is important, right? So that is a main thing we are going to look into it. And as part of that, what are the various aspects that we can learn from being a basic performance tester, or even being a functional tester. Even if you are a functional tester, for you to learn the non-functional requirements, to do JMeter scripting, JMeter execution, analysis and all, it is going to take good amount of time. It required good amount of training. You need to spend time and then do it. For a performance tester to become an engineer or a resilience engineer, again the learning curve is steep. But both for performance tester and for the functional tester, there are few things which you can easily learn and implement it, and make yourself equipped for moving towards that concept of these site reliability engineer or an SDET or a full stack tester. Okay, so that is what we are trying to do it using this crash course. Okay. So in the crash course, what we are going to look into is, let me explain this. Okay, two things. One, from a performance environment, in the before going to production, right? When you do load testing, when you do endurance testing, that's a normal load testing we do it. In that, in addition to that, what is important for us to do to ensure the end user experience, right? From an end user experience, when I say end user experience, again, as I said, right, you having your laptop, you having your mobile app, you launching your amazon.com either in your browser or in your play store apps or app store apps. How are we going to make sure your end user is going to experience a very rich performance? And how are we, as a tester, um, how we can do that? Because we normally only do load testing, all these things, right? But when it comes to client side performance, there's a lot of things to do it, which is very easy to do it, and then very easy to do that analysis and provide. So in that aspect, we are going to see how to do this client side monitoring, and what are things we will analyze it in terms of, say, your page size, your number of requests, your load time, and we will use developer tools to profile these pages. And also we will learn the concept about navigation APIs, your paint APIs. There are APIs available within your browser to get lot of data and insight about your page performance. So we will learn about the client side performance completely in an exhaustive manner, and also with the live application we will also try to learn few optimization technique, just not testing it, right? We will try to understand how we will do the testing using developer tools to measure these things. That is number one. Number two, we will also try to understand what are the various API that is available in your Chrome or IE, like navigation API, your paint APIs, to get the your first time to first paint, time to your first interactive content. So all these various metrics, along with the commands to get it from the browser console. And then we'll also try to learn some of the very easy and effective optimization techniques, right? So let me go to that slide for the client side performance and tell you what exactly you're going to look into it, right? So this is just a slide which I'm using it now in demo, but when it comes to the actual crash course session, we will be using a live application, and then we will be simulating few problems, and then we will try to rectify it and then optimize the web page as well. So as I said, we'll be learning these APIs, navigation APIs, your paint APIs, and we will try to see how we will be able to get all these different metrics, your time to first byte, your load time, your DOM load time, all these metrics we will try to retrieve it using these commands from the browser tool. So one is metrics, second is the browser APIs, third is we'll also see the optimization techniques, and practically we will try to get these recommendation also implemented, okay, with the live application. And this is more from the
One.
client. Okay.
Hello.
Similarly, mobile apps as well, similar to your web browser, right? Similar to that, for mobile app, what you are using now, probably you might have connected to GoToMeeting, right, in your mobile app. When it comes to app, again, mobile app itself is a code, right? It's a code running on your mobile, correct? So which means that will also have performance problem. It will take CPU from your mobile, it will take memory from your mobile, it will eat battery. So it is very important to also analyze your mobile app for an end user experience. So we will try to learn with for your Android device how to use tools like Android Studio, Android debug bridge tools to take the CPU, take this memory, take this battery, and then also look into the APIs that will go out of your mobile, right? How to analyze those things. So that is going to be part of your mobile native app. So these two things are going to be, we are going to learn as part of the client side monitoring and analysis when it comes to end user experience. And second thing what we will learn is,
Uh,
okay,
Hello.
so if somebody is talking,
Yeah,
the
Habib,
question,
I have one question.
yeah, please.
Habib, I just wanted to check, like in very layman, like server side monitoring, it seems like CPU or that disk license and all those memory license that we are going to monitor in server side. But the client side, what we are actually going to monitor? Is a network we are going to
Okay.
monitor or the browser specific parameters that we are going to monitor? Like how we distinguish in between client side and that server side?
So you're asking, how will you differentiate response time between client side and server side? Is it?
Is like in client side, like what things we are going to monitor and how those things will be different from the server side, like how we'll distinguish first what we are going to monitor in client side and how we are going to distinguish from the server side.
From the client side, we will what we will learn in the session is what are the various metrics available, right? Your first of all, your complete page load time, and then within this page load time, if you see, there will be a time to first paint, time to contentful paint, and then there will also be for your time to for your to receive your first byte, right? For your TTFB, time to first byte, time to last byte. So when you do a load testing using JMeter and load testing, right, where say for example your requirement is to do load testing of 100 users, you will be doing a load testing with 100 users, okay, and that load testing results is going to have only the server side response time. It is not going to provide you the actual response time of how one user will start open the browser, and when he is going to load it, that time you will not be able to get it using your JMeter or load runner web protocol, right? So the objective here is to analyze your performance from a browser perspective, right? So in that there are two ways we will do it. One, without any load on your server, you will open the browser, you will load your web page, and then you're going to understand what is your load time. And if your load time is high, say 8 seconds or 9 seconds, and you will also be able to go to the network tab, and then you will try to understand what are the various distribution, right? You see my time to first byte is more, or my download time is more, right? If accordingly we will start our investigation, okay? So one is metrics, the one which you're talking about is more about your troubleshooting. If my response time is more, is it on the client side or server side? So if in the crash course we will try to learn the complete picture of client side performance and analysis, and this will help you to also probably when you wanted to troubleshoot and then see where you want to spend time. Is it you want to spend more time on client side, or do you want to spend more time on your server side when the response time is high? That is also we'll try to learn.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Which tools are going to cover? It's like Lighthouse or web page load test or something. Let's think which tools you are going to cover.
So okay, see the objective here is, from a client side performance, you can learn and you can do a lot of things from your developer tool itself. That is a source of the information. We are not going from this client side analysis alone. We are not going to into Lighthouse, or we're not going into web page test. The reason is the source for that is there in your developer tool itself, right? So the one I was showing you, right, this navigation APIs, this windows.performance.timing, right? That's a JavaScript API, right? That is a source for the your lot of data. whatever you see it in the Lighthouse or in your API test. Similarly, your Paint APIs. And then we'll also try to learn these profiling optimization, like your the cache expiration or resource compression, combining all these recommendation. You will see it in the web page test. Also, you will see it in the Lighthouse. Okay, so what we will try to learn is tools from tools, these Lighthouse and web page test. There could be a number of tools, right? Without learning the tools, we will try to learn by ourselves how to do this, right? So that when you see this recommendation in the tool, it will be easy for you to understand. So what we'll do is we'll go one level down. Whatever tool is going to do it, we are going to do it. Okay, so we will try to take these data by ourselves. We will try to learn what is that navigation API is there, what kind of data it is going to give, what is the paint API, what kind of data it is going to give, what are the various optimization it's there. We will try to create problems, and then we will try to analyze those. We'll also try to apply those fixes and see the optimization. That is what we are going to see it in the crash course, because from a client side performance perspective, there are going to be a lot of tools available which can provide this data. But if you learn by yourself this optimization technique, and then to get this data, then that is what it is going to help you to gain knowledge, also to answer some of the easily the interview questions, and tools you can easily pick it up. So we'll look into the one level down from a tool perspective. Okay, similarly for mobile also, for mobile analysis also, we'll look into the from mobile app perspective, right? When I say app, it's a Play Store app, your App Store app. Those apps, what are the important things to monitor or analyze, like your CPU, your memory, because your app is going to consume this thing. How to take this CPU, how to take this memory from your Android device, why it is important, these as well we will look into it. Okay, and then second part is, okay, this is one part where this thing will be do it in the pre-production environment before going to production, right? Again, these things from say if you're a performance tester or even a functional tester, right? We are not going to do any scripting, correlation, execution, right? It's a normal, you open your browser, you do a lot of this analysis, right? Even a functional tester or automation tester will be very comfortable with these things, so it will be easy for them to, for you guys to pick it up as part of your initial journey towards the performance. Okay, second thing is you're in production, right? In production, what is something important from an end user experience perspective, right? There are two things. One is synthetic monitoring, second is real user monitoring. Okay, synthetic monitoring, we will try to learn how to, we'll be using a Dynatrace tool for a synthetic monitoring. Okay, and then we will try to see what is synthetic monitoring, why it is important, um, how easy it is to create those synthetic scripts which will run in production to measure your availability, right? If my application is running or not. If it is not running, I should get an alert even before an actual user going to complain. My synthetic scripts should run every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, from different geographical location, from London, from Singapore, from Chennai, right? And then if there are any response time violation, it should alert me. If there is any 500 error, 400 error, it should alert me. So concept of synthetic monitoring, how to create the synthetic scripts, how to execute it, and then what are the various aspects from alerting, and then configuration is available, right? We will try to learn those concepts with the help of the Dynatrace tool. There are again lot of tools available for synthetic monitoring, Rigor, your Pingdom, your AppDynamics, your Dynatrace. But for our crash course, we will try to learn what is synthetic monitoring, why it is important, what all things we will do from in a synthetic monitoring perspective. And in the Dynatrace tool, we will try to go and create these synthetic monitoring scripts. We will configure it, we will schedule it, and then we will try to analyze it. Okay, so this is one from the synthetic monitoring perspective. Similarly, we'll also try to understand the concepts of real user monitoring, and then what are we going to get it from the real user monitoring tool from a performance perspective, right? So real user monitoring is meant for two purposes. One, very importantly, for the business to gain information about their users. Who are their users? Where are they logging in from? Which geographical location they are logging in from? Are they using mobile, or are they using your desktop browsers? How long they are using these sites? So there are a lot of business related information they collect from a real user as part of the real user monitoring. But from a performance perspective, what are the things we are going to get from those real user monitoring tool? So that also will cover it in the crash course. Okay. And then in between, if you see, there is something called server side monitoring. Of course, for your overall experience, your application has to be healthy, your infra and OS has to be healthy, and we will do this monitoring both in performance environment, also in production environment. So will use AppDynamics tool for monitoring your application. So I have a live application which I will be using it. Um, I'll go here. I'll be using a live application where I'll be running a test using my JMeter or a load runner, and we will be. I haven't started the. Let me go and start the server. Okay, let it start. Meanwhile, so we'll be, as I said, we will be using the. We'll be trying to learn the how to install the agents, AppDynamic agent, and then um, we will go and monitor the your application through AppDynamics, about your business transactions, how to monitor the business transaction, how to monitor your JVM metrics, how to monitor your database calls, how to set the alerts and configuration. All these things we will learn it from a server side monitoring perspective. Okay. So all these business transaction, whichever we are going to invoke from our live application, those things we will try to learn it through AppDynamics tool. Okay, let it come. Okay, so from AppDynamics perspective, we look into the business transactions, JVM level monitoring, database calls, how to configure the events, response time diagnostics, and then the alerts configuration. All these things we will try to learn from the session. Okay, and then finally we'll also look into the OS level or infra level monitoring, right? We'll look into the open source option of your Grafana tool from a Telegraph or Telegraph or InfluxDB kind of a monitoring, right? If AppDynamics is not there in production, people are using Telegraph and InfluxDB and Grafana kind of tools to monitor it. That's a very famous tool nowadays picking up in the market. So we'll also try to see how easy it is for us to install, configure, and use it for a monitoring perspective. So idea of this crash course is all these things are looks very new, maybe for you, or looks very, it could be very tedious. It is not actually. These are all things are very relevant for today's market. Your client side performance analysis, both your web, mobile, synthetic monitoring, concept of real user monitoring, your AppDynamic server side monitoring, infra level monitoring, right? All these things are very wide area. Yes, of course, for you to become an expert, it will take a lot of time for you to work and get that experience. But to start that, it is not at all difficult. It's very easy. Within a matter of 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, all these tools you will be able to install it, or you will be able to register it and then use it on your own, right? It's not going to take time at all. So it's very easy to start your journey towards an SRE or a full stack tester, from a performance tester or from a functional tester. And our objective of this crash course is just to give this kickstart, right? Tell you what is what, and then try to explain you with these tools, these concepts, right, which will help you to take that move. It's very easy, and will in the crash course we'll try to get you that understanding using these tools practically as well. Okay, that is the objective. Okay, so and also we will be whatever tools we are using it, whatever the code, whatever we will be using it, right? All these things will also be provided to you through a Google Drive and you will get an access to those things, whatever configuration files, whatever tools you will be using it, and the e-library application, right? Whatever we are going to use it for our crash course, right? The e-libraries application, and then the code behind these e-library application, the scripts we will be using it, these load runner scripts, right? And then steps to configure, steps to go and register for AppDynamics or Dynatrace. All these things will be provided in the Google Drive. Okay, so the session 1 and session 2 is going to happen on 19th and 20th between 7:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. And then in the session 1, we will cover the client side analysis, client side monitoring of your web, and then your device level analysis of your mobile app. That is going to be for the session 1. Whatever you see it here in the session 1 box, right? Your page load time, page size, developer tools, navigation APIs, optimization techniques, and real-time problem, and then optimizations, right? And then using Android Studio tools to get those CPU, memory, right? So all these things will be covering in the session 1. And in the session 2, we will be looking into the your server and application monitoring. As I said, the AppDynamics for the application monitoring, and then your Telegraph Inflex tools for your infra monitoring. And then for synthetic real user monitoring, yes, as I said, we will be using Dynatrace to understand how we can create scripts, configure the scripts, how important the availability is, and how we are going to measure the availability using the synthetic monitoring. And then the real user monitoring concepts, and the how we are going to use it for our non-functional requirements. So this is going to be our schedule for session 1 and session 2. Yeah, this is going to be an exhaustive session, but as I said, all these things are easy to learn, easy to pick up, easy for you to use it on your own itself. You can, whatever we are going to see it in the crash course, you will be able to do it on your laptop. There's no requirement for a license or a heavy installation, nothing. Everything you will be able to practice, and you will be able to make your journey towards the next step. Okay. um, okay, so I'll probably take a pass here. Okay, and then if you have any questions, I'll be able to happy to answer you.
Hey, so this question here. I'm
Please.
Prabhakar. So don't we need to have any license for AppDynamics, you're saying, to work on our
Yeah,
box?
yeah. So yes, those are commercial tools, but they offer the AppDynamics free licenses, something called Lite, AppDynamics Lite. They AppDynamics provide 15 days license which you can use it, and after that you will be able to use it, something called AppDynamics Lite, for your lifetime. Okay, they will allow you to use it for one of your application server, one of your either it could be Java or could be a .NET, whatever it is, right? So you will be able to continuously use it. There is no time limit. Yes, so which means AppDynamics you will be able to use it, install it, and practice it.
But
How
I
about
think we
other
don't have
tools like
more
Dynatrace or Wiley Introscope? How about them?
Yeah, so I'm not sure about the other tools. Even Dynatrace also does a similar thing.
I see.
Dynatrace also, whatever we will be using it for a synthetic monitoring, right? That is again a free license. Yes, Dynatrace doesn't. I don't think it is going to provide you a lifelong, but at least a 15-day trial period where you will be able to use it and learn it. But AppDynamics Lite provides you a extended license for you to learn and use it continuously. Dynatrace, whatever we will be using it, is going to be your trial licenses for the synthetic monitoring.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, AppDynamics also. So adding to Satish point here. So AppDynamics Lite, I think it will give you, it will not give more option when we go into the more further drill down to identify the issue. So on high level, it will give. So if you want to go with the Lite, I think we should not go to the, we should not go to until the threat tracks trace. So until that point, you should not go. So it will give high level, which business transaction and where it is giving ever. That much it will give. For it won't give the license or as licensed version. Go to the till thread tracks trace till that much.
No, in fact, with the Lite, you will be able to even pinpoint your costly queries or the method which is taking more time, the class which is taking more time. You will be able to go into that level as well. So I'm using AppDynamics Lite for at least for 6 months or 8 months, and even now I would be able to go to that level, and that is also we'll try to learn in the session.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, there is going to be a few things which you might not get it. That is, of course, there is a commercial product, but till the costly queries or your method level information diagnostics, you will be able to do it.
Okay. Satish, two questions here.
Yeah,
Go
please.
ahead.
No, I'm just asking if you can explain what is the difference between application monitoring and this synthetic monitoring.
Okay. Synthetic monitoring is, say, for example, in production, similar synthetic is artificial, right? A real is real user. We'll be running the Selenium scripts or your JMeter scripts continuously with a single user. Okay, we'll create a script. It could be a Selenium script, or it could be JMeter, or Dynatrace tool creates its own script also. We'll create the scripts. It will run continuously in production every 15 minutes or every 10 minutes from different location, and we will set the SLAs of say 5 seconds or 3 seconds, or error rate should not be 300 or 400 or 500. Whenever that is going to happen, whenever there's going to be a response time deviation, or going to be a problem with your server, it will keep sending your alert to your uh, performance team or even to your support team. That is the synthetic monitoring in the production. So it is going to mimic real user behavior. It is keep on running that every 55 minutes, every 10 minutes, and then before a real user is going to complain something about your performance or about your server crash or about your server not responding, our synthetic scripts, synthetic monitoring tool will be able to capture those problems, and it will help us to solve it before it uh, uh, before it reaches your actual user. So that is a synthetic monitoring. So synthetic monitoring is not going to go and get to CPU or memory or code level problems. No, that we will be doing it with AppDynamics. Synthetic is monitoring is more about the availability, whether my application is available or not, whether the application is slow from an end user perspective.
So it means that we're going to upload the any script. Suppose we are going to upload the geometry script in the Dynatrace tool, and it will be going to run as job wise in every 5 minutes or 10 minutes
Yeah, not
in the product.
exactly the JMeter script, but kind of a that kind of a concept. Yes, you can upload a Selenium script. You can create your script on your own. Yeah, we'll see how to create a script on your own as well in the Dynatrace tool. But yeah, as you said, I think it's similar to that.
If it exceeds this DSL that we are going to mention, then it will trigger some notifications to the performance testers, and that can be then in this that issue can be resolved, right?
Yeah, it will send an alert to your support team. It will send an alert to your site reliability team, support team, and then they will be going into these AppDynamics tools, or probably your within the Dynatrace itself. You're going to have the diagnostics tools as well, right? And then they find out whether the server is down or any of the third party calls are costly. That is second thing. That is RCA, right? The root cause analysis. So that is second section. So from a synthetic monitoring perspective, we will try to learn what is synthetic monitoring, and then how to create the scripts, how to set these alerts. Once this something happens bad in the your production, once the synthetic monitoring tool captures that and sends the alert, then your production support team will pick it up and do the RCA.
So this synthetic monitoring will only happen in the production, not in other environment.
Correct. Yeah, only in the production environment. That's why I said what we'll learn in the crash course is in the production performance environment. This client-side analysis monitoring of web and mobile is we are going to see, which is very important. Server-side monitoring is both common, which we'll also learn, and in production only synthetic monitoring and real user monitoring is will happen, and that also we'll look into it. Now all these things put together, right? All these things put together, that is what the next step we as a performance tester or a functional tester can learn very easily and quickly. And if you look into the your job description of your site reliability engineer or your full stack tester, right, all these things will appear. There will be a lot of things that will appear, but out of this, these are the very easy to learn and easy to apply in your workplace or in your if you are learning in your laptop. It is very easy for you to learn and do it on your own. So that is the objective of this crash course.
So
One question. Um,
Yeah,
it's a performance, right?
so I had a question
Like,
for the application that we'll be testing. Will we have access to the live application as well
um,
to
we
monitor?
will yeah we will provide you the war file, and then you can deploy it on your own laptop, and
Mhm.
then you can set up all these things by yourself. We'll provide you these softwares and also the link where to download the AppDynamics or the Tomcat server for the deployment. Those things will be provided to you.
Okay, so we'll have an instruction how to deploy as well on our own AppDynamics.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Yes. That's correct.
Thank you.
Satish, one
So,
question. This
the
type
AppDynamics
code writing, is a performance
how
issue,
to configure this AppDynamics with your application. That is something we'll learn itself in the crash course. So you will get it directly from the course itself, how to install the agent and then make your application talk to your AppDynamics tool. That we will learn in the course. But the code itself, the application code, whatever we are using it, the WAR file, that will be available. We'll upload it to the Google Drive.
Satish, can't we do server monitoring and synthetic monitoring in any one tool
Yes.
yes.
Yes. We can do it. Both AppDynamics and Dynatrace as both the components. But the idea here is two things. One, to get insight into both these different tools. Right? Dynatrace is famous, AppDynamics is famous. So that is why we are trying to use AppDynamics for server-side monitoring and Dynatrace for the synthetic monitoring. But all these tools, right, and forget about the tools, right? This Dynatrace or Neuralink, AppDynamics, every tool is going to pretty much do the same functionality, only the UI will be different. But the activity what we will be doing it, like your monitoring your JVM or response time diagnostics, or your getting your business transaction response time, database calls, measuring your availability, configuring your synthetic scripts, all the activities remain it's going to be very same. Your approach is going to be same. Only the way look and feel is going to be different because it is from AppDynamics. This is from Dynatrace, Neuralink. Tomorrow there might be ABCD, whatever tools, but the activities are going to be remain same. That is what we will try to learn. So uh, when all from performance, it's a completely tool agnostics, right? There are a lot of tools, but whatever we are going to do inside the tool has to remain same. That is what we will try to learn.
Yeah,
And
Satish.
and one more thing is, see, this is the crash course, right? 5-hour crash course. Okay, and if you look into it, we are trying to cover lot of things very specifically because we want to a lot of people will not have time to spend 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours go in deep into it, right? All they wanted us to get kick started with these things, and that's how this crash course is designed. Very short duration, spend less time, spend less money, and then get a lot of insight, and then you will be able to expand your knowledge, right? Because if you look into it, we are covering client side performance for the web, client side performance for your mobile, your AppDynamics, your synthetic monitoring, everything together. The 5 hours will try to make it very effective. Again, whether you're going to learn everything in 5 hours, no, it cannot be, right? But this will give you a very good head start to all these things which are required in the market. That is why this 5-hour crash course is designed.
Yeah, Satish, I have two questions. So first one is, as we see in the agenda, so we are going to cover in the presentation layer and application layer is more. So do you have any plans that we can cover in the DB layer also? Backend?
No, not in this crash course. So we have
Okay.
a full-fledged performance engineering course.
Mm-hmm.
uh, we will so as I was mentioning about these two things, right? For as a next steps, right? From an engineering perspective, RCA perspective, that is a very
Mhm.
uh, deep learning that is required. So there we will cover all these server-side profiling, your heap analysis, garbage collection, thread analysis, database analysis, AWR report analysis.
Okay.
All these things will be dealt in a exhaustive way. That will be around 25 to 27 hours of course covering within a one month. That's a exhaustive engineering course what we have. But in this 5 hours, I think we will try to learn these alone and not anything. We will not have
So that
time for sure.
we plan that one in coming soon, or what is the estimated date that is going to come in for that?
The engineering,
Process?
the performance
Yeah, go ahead.
engineering course you are asking.
Yeah, for total course.
Yeah, that will start in the last week of December. Um the actual demo classes will happen in the last week of December, and the actual
Okay.
session will start in the January first week.
Okay. And second question is, as we seen that, so all this is coming for, I mean, as we're looking presentation layer, that is common for even cloud and non-cloud also. But coming
True.
to mid application layer, so as we are going to cover with the standalone applications, or we are going to cover with the cloud applications also?
No, as I said, as you said, right? All these things are irrespective about whether the apps are cloud native apps or is going to be your traditional apps. Everything is
Client
going to be very,
side,
yeah,
client side is either it is cloud or it is standalone application, that is fine.
yes.
But coming to server side, application side, so is it cloud or it will be a normal standalone application?
Most of the thing whatever we are going to see it from the infra and AppDynamics, right? It's going to
Mm-hmm.
be both for cloud as well as for the non-cloud. But when it comes to cloud is going to have its own separate other components, right? We might need to monitor the containers, or we might
Yeah.
need to look into the cloud watch.
No.
So those things, yeah, those are not going to be part of this session.
Mm-hmm. So that those things will be part of the crash course. I mean, that full 27 hours course, there is any plan that you can include that one also?
Right. Yeah, in the engineering course, we will touch upon the cloud as well. Yes.
Okay, sure. Why? Because all the people is nowadays is asking cloud.
Sure, sure. Yes,
So
yes. See, cloud is cloud is something. It's an attractive. It's a very catchy word nowadays, right? But from a performance engineering perspective, all these things are very, very critical. Whatever we are going to learn, it's independent of you're going to do it in cloud or not. So and that is how we have designed it. Yeah,
yeah.
cloud performance is very something very, very separate. And this is something common for both cloud as well as non-cloud.
Okay. But coming to presentation layer, as you said, that is independent. But coming to
Yeah,
application and DB,
dealing with
that
the
is.
end user experience. Yeah, dealing with the end user experience. So pretty much same for both cloud and cloud.
Yeah. That's. Thank you. Thanks. That's from.
Sure, 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 sure.
Satish, for testing Android app, we download this Android Studio, and you will
Mhm.
tell how to install and code everything from scratch, or
Okay, so from a Android Studio perspective, there are few tools available within the Android SDK that will be using it for our performance. Yeah, those things will be covered. Yes,
oh, okay,
whatever
okay,
tools we are using for Android monitoring, those tools from where to download, what are the tools available? Those things we will cover it. Yeah.
okay. Setting up the thing, everything in our system, like you'll tell from scratch, right? I mean,
Correct. See, we don't need complete Android Studio for monitoring the performance. There are going to be set of tools that is required. Yes, those things will cover it, and it is not very complex installation at all. It's a very easy installation. Those things will cover it. It's going to be set of platform tools which we have to download, and then we invoke it through your command line, and it will start working. So we'll try to connect those devices through my personal device with my laptop, and we will use those platform tools for getting those metrics.
okay. This also when we download this Android Studio, we will also get the end user metrics for mobile too, or only device metrics.
Only the device metrics.
Only device metrics. Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Satish. Yeah.
Okay then. Thank you. Fine, guys. So if you have any more questions, again, just wanted to reiterate, right? This is a crash course, and the way we will do it is the question and answer also. We will try to get it through chat channels. If you have questions during the session, also we'll try to answer it. But since it's a very jam-packed crash course, right? The deep dive Q&A we'll have it in the last 15-20 minutes. Whatever questions you have, we will cover it during the 15 minutes, and we'll also have a Google sheet through which you can keep typing your questions, and then we will try to answer it end of the session also, so that we will not miss out of your questions. Okay. So session 1, session 2 is going to happen on next Saturday and Sunday between 7:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. If you have any questions tomorrow or day after, you can still ask those questions in the chat channel, in the WhatsApp channel, and we'll try to answer you. And if you are wanted to go ahead with the registration, you can reach out to Kumar as well in this number.
So, Satish, one question.
Sure, go ahead.
So you mentioned in the slide that you will be covering the performance tools from the client side is DevTools, and for the mobile it will be Android Studio. So these are the only that you are going to discuss for the client side.
See, I told you, right? The tools from from a tool perspective, from an application monitoring perspective, we are going to look into AppDynamics. For synthetic monitoring, we are going to look into Dynatrace, and then for the client side monitoring, we are going to look into the basics of the client side performance. The tools are there like Lighthouse. There are tools that are there for your like web page test. Also, yes, the Dynatrace synthetic monitoring also will provide you a client side analysis. But how these tools are going to get this data, from where the data is going to come, how are we going to analyze it, and what are the optimization technique, that is more important than the actual tool itself. And that is what we will try to cover it in the client side monitoring. So it is just not DevTools has a lot of things which you can do it. That is what we are going to learn, and how are you going to use those APIs in the Chrome browser to get this data. That is what we are going to learn.
So for the mobile device only, we have to use Android Studio, right?
That's it. Yeah, mobile app, you don't need anything else. For Android, you just need the Android SDK tools to get these data. You don't need, and we'll also, I'll provide an introduction to these cloud tools. You would have heard about Perfecto or C-Test, right? These tools also, probably for somebody coming from a functional testing background, right, they might have known about the C-Test, APM, Selenium, or and all. I'll also provide you some information, some introduction into how to use these cloud tools to get the app CPU, app memory, app battery. That also I'll try to cover it.
So for the server side, you mentioned AppDynamics, right? So if the application is hosted on the cloud, so same thing can be done when it is hosted on a server, right? There will not be any difference, right? It is only
No
the
difference. Yeah, because two types of monitoring. One, server monitoring. Second is your application monitoring. Cloud, like your Azure or your AWS, will provide tools to monitor your server. Okay, your OS level, server level CPU, server level memory. But your application that is going to deploy into the cloud, the application monitoring, that can still will happen through AppDynamics or Dynatrace. So that is not going to change.
So there, I mean, technically speaking, there will not be any difference if we host the application on the cloud or whether it is hosted on the premises.
Yeah, I have my Java application that I'm going to deploy it in my laptop or in a data center Windows server or in the cloud server. Everything is going to be same. From an application perspective, it's not going to change.
Okay, last question. This one, you mentioned synthetic monitoring can be done only through Dynatrace. I mean, it cannot be done through AppDynamics.
It can be done through AppDynamics also, but just from a tool agnostics perspective, we will try to see how we can use the Dynatrace. All tools have all these components.
Okay, but other than, I mean, so technically, if I learn AppDynamics, I don't have to go to Dynatrace for synthetic monitoring, right?
See, as I said, right, from a learning perspective, you need to learn the concepts. You need to learn how to do it, what is you want to measure it. Today you will be using AppDynamics. Tomorrow in another project you might be using a Dynatrace or New Relic. But synthetic monitoring concepts are going to be same. what we will need to measure, how to create scripts, and how to set these alerts. Only UI is going to change between AppDynamics and Dynatrace. Nothing else is going to change.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Any open source monitoring tools like just some basics or something?
Open source monitoring tool for OS level, for a server level monitoring, right? That is what we'll try to see it in the session also
Application,
using
yeah, application level, not the server matrices.
APMs are there, like there is a Elastic APM tool is there from Elasticsearch,
Okay.
and there are a couple of things that are coming up in the market, but still it is not full-fledged used by the team. Still, people use AppDynamics, New Relic, and Dynatrace, but it is picking up. But yeah, it is there.
Okay, so like, is there anything we are going to cover for open source as well, or either just with AppDynamics and Dynatrace?
Only see again, right? We can do a lot of things, but we just have 5 hours, and in 5 hours, whatever that is going to create an impact to your career from your learning perspective, that is what we are going to cover, right? And whatever we are already covering is very important things that are relevant to the market. That is what we are going to cover, right? On top of that, if you are looking for
Got it.
the XYZ, that are still going to be important, but in 5 hours, yeah, in 5 hours we will make sure it is rightly spent, and it is going to be useful for everyone.
Thank you, Satish. Very nice demo. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So if you still have any questions, feel free to post it in the WhatsApp message, and then we'll try to answer it, all your questions and clarifications. Okay. And if you have any other questions regarding the registration or the fees, you can reach out to Kumar.
So one more question, Satish. The performance engineering classes that will be starting from tomorrow are different from what you have talked. I mean, you are saying they will be starting from the end of January, I mean December. Or
There are two batches that will be getting started. One, I think it's just started. I think a week before, or yeah, last week. Another one will start from the end of this month.
Okay.
Content will be same, Satish?
Sorry?
The content will be same on both the courses?
Both are taken by different trainers. So, but more or less, I would say it would be same, but from a different trainers. But content will be more or less, it will be same. There will be overlap of 70%. Okay, guys, fine. Yeah.
Hi, Satish. This is Raju. I have one question. Coming to this Inflex TV, we will get the info from the scratch level, like download, install, and setup. All these things can we expect?
Yeah. Yes, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Fine, guys, and thanks a lot for your time, taking your time to attend this session, and we'll meet you next week.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Satish. That was a good
Thank you.
session.
Bye bye.
Yeah.